I am Anna Seewald, and this is Authentic Parenting, a podcast about growing ourselves while raising our children. I'm a psychologist, educator, and parent coach. And on this podcast, I explore how you can connect to your authentic self, practice radical self-care, and raise emotionally healthy children. Let's break the cycle of generational trauma for a more peaceful, kind, and compassionate world. I want to share with you the recording of a talk I recently gave to a group of teenagers and their parents. I was honored to be the keynote speaker at the wonderful event celebrating a teen magazine created for teens by teens. I was especially touched to be invited by one of my oldest podcast listeners who is still in touch with me after all these years. I truly enjoyed being at the event and was so inspired and impressed by everything these incredible teens are doing. I thought you might enjoy listening to the talk. It was very well received. Now, if you would like to invite me to speak at your school, organization, or event, feel free to reach out. You can visit my website, check out the speaking page, and send me a note. I would love to connect. Please enjoy, and thank you for listening.
I'm so honored and pleased to be here today, and I am so impressed, moved, and inspired by all the teenagers in this room. And I want to read all those articles that you wrote. I'm truly inspired by that. I used to work with teenagers for many years, and I have a teenage daughter myself. She's 17. I have written my speech not on my iPhone, but on a plain paper, so excuse me a minute. Today I want to share some lessons I learned from podcasting for 10 years about doing hard things, facing fear, building confidence, especially when you don't have all the answers or the perfect plan. When I told my daughter that I'll be doing this talk, she said, "Mom, don't depress them with your sad life stories. Tell them something more lighter." I said, okay. So I know sometimes it feels like you need to be ready or inspired before you start something new, but guess what? That's not how it works. So 10 years ago, I started a podcast. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have a recording studio. I didn't have any guests. I didn't even have a microphone. When I tell people that it's the 10th anniversary of the podcast, everyone is asking me, wow, what was your vision for the podcast? And when I tell them the answer, everyone acts shocked. I'm going to tell you the answer too. I had no big vision. What I had was just an idea. I had passion, enthusiasm, and drive too. But I didn't know where I was going, and I didn't know what it would become. And honestly, I couldn't have imagined that millions of people around the world would one day listen. I would interview world-class experts, authors whose books I have read and learned a lot. That I would release 500 episodes and build a global community and host live events. People from around the world come to my live events. We hosted 2 events last year alone. But 10 years ago, that wasn't the case. I didn't have a 10-year plan. All I had was just an idea. I just took that first step and the path opened up. I stayed with it. I persevered. I took action even when I didn't want to, week after week after week. Through personal struggles, burnout, family challenges, sickness and all, I persevered, and it turned into something magnificent and extraordinary. We create things twice, first in our minds and then in reality. Everything begins with an idea. So if you have one, plant it, grow it, nurture it, believe in it, and see it transform. It was about 10 years ago when I met Aditi and Preeti, and they were just talking about this organization, Empower and Health. And it was 3 years ago when they shared the idea of starting the Teen Ventures magazine with me. And today, to be here and witness all of this growth, see this amazing journey, witness all of this is so moving and inspiring. And they all started with an idea. So if you have one, don't plug it prematurely. You don't need to know the how or the outcome. Pursue it anyway. And like Walt Disney said, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Here's the first big lesson. You don't have to have everything figured out to start. Just start. Action comes first. Motivation comes later. A lot of us wait to feel motivated before we do something. We procrastinate because we don't feel ready or inspired. I am a teenager. I know how that works. We wait for the muse to strike. But what I've learned is action leads to motivation, not the other way around. Remember, motion leads to motivation. Taking the first small step creates energy. And even if you don't feel inspired, just do the thing anyway. Write that message. Practice that skill. Say hi to someone new. Open the file. Open the computer. Just start. If I had waited for motivation for the perfect time, I wouldn't have lasted 10 years. There were days that I didn't want to do anything. And believe me, I wanted to quit many times. But self-discipline is what kept me going. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Motivation comes with action. Actions build momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence makes us feel unstoppable. My next lesson is about fear. When I started the podcast, I had so many fears. I was afraid that no one would listen. I was afraid that people would judge me, make fun of me, that I will sound stupid. After all, English is not my first language, it's my third. And I was afraid that I would fail. Fear can be paralyzing. But you know what? It can also fuel creativity. One day, I realized that I've never done anything in my life important without fear. Every brave act, big or small, included fear. You don't need to get rid of fear. You don't need to wait until it dissipates. You need to learn to relate to it differently. You need to befriend it. You might always be scared or nervous about trying new things. That's okay. That's normal. That's biology. You need to befriend fear. Invite it along. Do things scared. Even now, standing here in front of you is with me. It's keeping me alert, awake. It gives me energy not to mess up my talk. But it's not driving the bus. It's behind me. Hello, fear. I can give it a name even. So it's riding in the back seat. Courage comes after you face fear, not before. And like Nelson Mandela said, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but triumph over it. You don't need to be fearless. You just have to be brave enough to take the first step. One small brave step every day. Make that a practice. Tell your parents I love you. Speak up when you disagree. Try something new, even if it feels scary. These tiny steps add up. And over time, they make you stronger and more confident. And when things get hard, don't be your own worst critic. Be your own coach. Tell yourself, it's okay, I'm learning. Not, I'm a failure. Choose self-compassion over self-criticism. What does that mean? Treat yourself like a good friend when you're struggling. When we notice our feelings and respond with care, we can more easily handle life's challenges and bounce back when life gets hard. So, Focus on your strengths. Celebrate your progress. Reframe mistakes as part of growth. Encourage yourself. And like Brené Brown said, talk to yourself like you would to someone you love. I know I've been probably talking for 10 minutes. I want to invite you to do a small activity that ties in with my talk. What I want you to do is think of one brave step that you can take this week, today, if you have a goal or a project that you're working on. So think about, maybe it's, telling someone how you feel, asking for help, trying something new, applying for a job. My daughter is doing that. Take a test or try parallel parking. Right? Sounds familiar? Take 20 seconds to think about, all of you, of this one small step that you're going to do. And I'm going to give you 3 minutes. You're going to tell your neighbor your brave step. You're going to share with one another. And maybe you can keep 3 minutes time. And when I ring the bell, I want everyone to come back and we can share the results. How's that? A few minutes, 3 minutes. Think of your brave step that you're going to take and share it with your neighbor. And neighbor, when you listen to that brave step, try saying something positive and encouraging. Let's start. Be brave. Maybe this is your My final message is maybe the most important one. Do hard things. Hard things grow you. They stretch you. They stretch your comfort zone. They build resilience. Avoiding hard things keeps you stuck. Saying yes to challenges, even when they're scary, is what builds you. Do hard things, but remember my main message. Don't be hard on yourself. Messing up, failing, trying again, starting over is all part of the process. That's how you learn and grow. And here is some cool brain science. There's a part in your brain called the AMCC, anterior mid-cingulate cortex. Shall we say this out loud together 3 times? Repeat after me. Anterior mid-cingulate cortex. This is an important part of the brain. You probably heard about the amygdala, the hippocampus, but this is an important part. It's the motivation and tenacity hub of the brain. And as teenagers, you probably know, because you write all those wonderful articles, your brain is still developing, particularly this part. So the AMCC plays a crucial role in willpower, tenacity, and overcoming challenges. The more you do hard things, the stronger this part of the brain gets. And here is the thing. That means the more challenges you take on now, the more you are shaping a part of that brain for the future. Stressful activities like workouts, resisting temptation, or mental effort can actually grow brain matter in the AMCC. You do something hard, you strengthen your AMCC. People are giving an easy task, the AMCC isn't activated. But if they are given a hard task, particularly, pay attention to this one, a task that they don't want to do, physical or cognitive, the AMCC levels of activity go through the roof. So remember that. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Park your car and walk. When you're done with the test, tackle one more problem. When you're done with your workout, do one more rep. Focus your attention, even for a few extra minutes. And when you're watching Netflix, instead of pressing play the next season, the next episode, resist temptation and stop, even if you don't want to. Grow your AMCC. And you know what? This isn't just inspiring. This is science. And AMCC is linked to longevity. Bigger, stronger AMCC live longer. So hard things really grow your brain and make you live longer. That's impressive. So, before I finish, I want to share something personal. One day, I woke up and I found a letter on my desk from my teenage daughter. She's 17, with very poor handwriting. So therefore, I typed her letter so that I can read it. I asked her permission, and she said, okay, so here we go. Dear Mom, I'm writing this, and first of all, let's premise that we didn't have an argument the night before. We didn't talk about gratitude, the ripple effect, nothing like that. This letter came as a surprise. It's just a simple thank you note, but there is one part that really struck me, and I'm going to read it for you. Dear Mom, I'm writing this letter to you to express my gratitude for all that you do for me and have provided me with. First, I am grateful to have someone I can confide in, and who provides me with the best advice, even if I don't want to hear it. Second, I am grateful that you're such a thoughtful person. And here's the part that really got me. I thought to myself, proud parent moment. Finally, I am grateful for you allowing me to make mistakes and helping me through them. I have learned so much from you and will continue to, and I'm extremely grateful for all that you do. Hope you can read my handwriting. So, in closing, this is what I want to say to you. I have a challenge for you. Every day, take one small, brave step. Befriend your fear. Be kind to yourself. Be your own coach, not your own critic. Don't wait for motivation. Take action anyway. You don't have to have all the answers. Just start. Do hard things. Stretch yourself. This is how you grow more resilient. And to conclude with the wise words of Steve Jobs, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world, they are the ones who do. So thank you for listening.
That concludes today's conversation, my dear listener, and I hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring. Be sure to hit that follow button so you don't miss future episodes, and take a moment to leave a rating and review. It really helps others find the show. I would love to hear your thoughts and takeaways. Join the conversation in the Authentic Parenting Facebook group or visit the contact page at authenticparenting.com/contact to get in touch. Authentic Parenting is an ad-free show, and your donations is what makes this podcast possible. Support the show by visiting authenticparenting.com/support or becoming a patron at patreon.com. Your contributions make it possible for me to continue bringing you weekly episodes. And as always, connect to the present moment, to yourself and your children. Until next week, I am Anna Seewald. Thank you so much for listening. This episode was edited and produced by Aminur. If you need expert support to bring your dream podcast to life, from editing to full production, Aminur can help make it happen. You'll find his link in the show notes.